The glittering world of stardom is often viewed from the outside as flawless, where friendships are eternal, bonds are unshakable, and happiness sparkles like the lights on the red carpet. Yet beneath the glamour lies a reality that is often messy, vulnerable, and painfully human. Recently, this truth was laid bare in a shocking twist that left millions of fans across the globe in utter disbelief. Xiao Zhan, one of China's most beloved stars, reportedly stormed out of a private dinner with Wang Yibo's family after a clash that escalated beyond repair. What was meant to be a warm gathering filled with laughter, food, and shared affection spiraled into one of the most talked about moments in their journey, a moment that has shaken not just their friendship, but the very foundation of what fans have come to know as the legendary Yizhan bond. It all began with the intention of family closeness. Wang Yibo's parents, aware of the extraordinary connection between their son and Xiao Zhan, had arranged an intimate dinner to strengthen ties, to extend warmth, and perhaps to officially embrace Xiao Zhan as part of their inner circle. The choice of venue, a luxurious yet traditional private restaurant in Beijing, was carefully curated to reflect elegance and comfort. The walls whispered of heritage, the decor glowed with soft lanterns, and every detail carried the hope that this night would be one of love and acceptance. On paper, everything was perfect, but reality is rarely so forgiving. At first, things went smoothly. Guests arrived, greetings were exchanged, and the atmosphere felt light. Xiao Zhan, ever the embodiment of politeness and grace, charmed the relatives with his warmth. Smiles were genuine, and laughter bubbled around the table as steaming plates of food arrived. For a brief moment, it looked like the night would be everything it was meant to be. But fate, it seems, had other plans. Somewhere between polite conversations and clinking chopsticks, subtle remarks began to surface. They were faint at first, so faint that one might have mistaken them for harmless observations. Yet for those who know the language of family politics, the undertones were unmistakable. One older relative, seated with the air of authority, posed a question that pierced the calm. It was delivered casually, but with a blade hidden beneath the softness. Was Xiao Zhan's career truly his own, or was it carried on the shoulders of Yibo's fame? The words, coded in nonchalance, were anything but innocent. Around the table, the silence that followed was loud enough to echo. Xiao Zhan, his smile steady but eyes sharper, answered with poise. He spoke of his journey, of his individual projects, of the sweat and effort poured into building a name that stood tall even outside the shadow of the untamed. His words were gracious, but the sting of the remark lingered in the air. But the whispers did not stop. Another relative, emboldened by the first, brought up the closeness between the two stars, hinting at the endless rumors, the speculations, the fan-created narratives that swirl across the internet. This time, the suggestion was sharper, probing not just careers but the very nature of their bond. The table, once buzzing with harmony, fell into tense silence. Even the clink of porcelain seemed too loud. It was clear to those present that Xiao Zhan was uncomfortable. For a man known for his patience, his grace, and his ability to stay calm even in the face of relentless public scrutiny, there was only so much one could endure. Still, he tried to hold on, maintaining composure, responding with measured words, never once allowing his dignity to falter. But then came the moment that tipped the balance. A third relative, less cautious and more direct, questioned whether Xiao Zhan's presence in Yibo's life was truly beneficial. The remark sliced through the air like a blade, one of those sentences that cannot be undone. This time, Xiao Zhan did not stay silent. Slowly, he put down his chopsticks, his expression no longer softened by courtesy. His voice, calm yet cutting, carried across the table. I have worked hard for everything I have, and I would never want to be a burden to anyone, especially not to Yibo. The words landed heavily, and the room froze. For a second, nobody moved. The weight of truth sat between them all, impossible to ignore. What should have been the end of the matter only spiraled further. Another relative, attempting to lighten the mood, cracked a half-joke that only deepened the wound. Voices rose, defenses built, and the dinner shifted from civility to confrontation. Wang Yibo, torn between family loyalty and his closest companion, tried desperately to diffuse the tension, but the storm had already gathered. Xiao Zhan, his patience worn thin and his pride wounded, stood up. With a brief apology, short and sharp, he excused himself and walked out of the dinner, leaving behind a silence heavy enough to crush the room. The aftermath was nothing short of chaos. Shock rippled through the family members. Some were quick to regret, whispering apologies that now seemed too late. Others stood by their words, insisting they were merely being honest. Wang Yibo, caught in the wreckage, excused himself not long after, his mind torn and his heart heavy, reportedly rushing out to find Xiao Zhan. But what passed between them after that moment remains shrouded in speculation. News of the clash did not stay hidden for long. In the age of social media, whispers move faster than wildfire. By dawn, hashtags like #ShaoZhanWalksOut and #IboFamilyClash were dominating Weibo, sending fans into a frenzy. Some rallied fiercely behind Xiao Zhan, praising his courage to stand up for himself. He's always been humble, always been hardworking. To belittle him like that is unacceptable. One post read, garnering thousands of likes. Others defended Wang Yibo's family, suggesting that relatives sometimes speak blunt truths without realizing the harm they cause. A few even questioned whether this marked the beginning of the end for the adored Yijan bond. In the midst of the speculation, Xiao Zhan posted a late-night message on his private fan account. Respect is mutual. Without it, there is no point in staying. The words, cryptic but powerful, only fueled the fire of rumors. Meanwhile, Wang Yibo liked a post that read, "Loyalty means standing by those who matter most." Fans dissected these subtle signals, spinning theories and building narratives that filled timelines across the globe. For millions, this wasn't just about a dinner gone wrong. It was about the fragility of a bond that had come to symbolize loyalty, resilience, and unwavering friendship. To them, Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo were more than stars. They were icons of trust in a world often clouded with betrayal. The thought of cracks in that foundation was too much for some to bear. But what does this really mean for their future? Industry insiders believe that despite the drama, the bond between Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo is unlikely to shatter. They have weathered storms before: fan wars, media scrutiny, baseless rumors, and relentless pressure. To them, this may be yet another hurdle, painful but survivable. After all, conflicts happen in every family, in every friendship. What matters most is what follows: reconciliation, conversation, and the strength to move forward. Yet this incident has illuminated the invisible weight celebrities carry when their personal lives collide with public perception. Family dinners are supposed to be private sanctuaries, spaces of love and safety. But for people like Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo, even those moments become magnified, dissected, and broadcast to the world. Every word becomes a headline, every silence a statement, every walkout a scandal. The clash also serves as a reminder of the cultural and personal struggles that arise when careers, families, and relationships intertwine under the harsh spotlight of fame. For Xiao Zhan, the night was a reminder of the need to constantly prove his worth, to assert his individuality beyond collaborations. For Wang Yibo, it highlighted the painful balance of honoring family while protecting someone who has stood by him through countless storms. As fans continue to wait for clarity, piecing together fragments of cryptic posts and subtle gestures, one truth remains: the story of that dinner is now part of their shared history. It will be remembered not just as an awkward evening, but as a defining chapter in the narrative of Yijan. Whether it becomes the storm that broke them apart or the test that made them stronger is a question only time can answer. For now, the silence from both Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo speaks volumes. Perhaps behind closed doors, conversations are being had, wounds are being mended, and the bond is being rebuilt away from the eyes of the public. Perhaps this storm, like many before, will clear the air and allow for deeper understanding. What is certain is that this moment, dramatic and raw, has reminded the world of one thing: stars may shine brightly on screen, but off-screen they are human, fragile, and subject to the same battles of pride, respect, and dignity that define us all. Xiao Zhan walking out wasn't just a dramatic gesture. It was a declaration of self-worth, a reminder that even the most beloved icons will not stay where respect is absent. And so the world watches, waits, and hopes. Hopes that the story does not end in division, but in reconciliation. Hopes that the bond that has inspired millions will endure yet another trial. Because for countless fans, Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo are not just actors. They are a symbol of friendship's power to survive even the fiercest storms. The storm that brewed inside that private restaurant didn't just end when Xiao Zhan walked out. In fact, what happened after that dramatic exit has become the new center of attention, pulling fans into an emotional roller coaster and sparking endless debates online. As soon as Xiao Zhan stepped outside, witnesses reported that Wang Yibo quickly excused himself from the table. Torn between his relatives' stern expressions and his friends' hurt pride, Yibo made the difficult choice to follow Xiao Zhan. Yibo looked conflicted. One source shared: he loves his family deeply, but the bond he shares with Xiao Zhan is not something he can just set aside. He rushed after him, leaving the relatives in silence. That moment, simple yet powerful, spoke volumes. For fans, it became symbolic, a choice of loyalty, of standing beside someone even when it's uncomfortable. But what was said outside the restaurant is something only Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo truly know. According to insiders, the two stars did not part ways angrily. Instead, Yibo caught up with Xiao Zhan near the restaurant's parking area, and the two engaged in a heartfelt conversation. Xiao Zhan, visibly shaken, reportedly expressed his disappointment. "I've always respected your family, but tonight, I felt like an outsider," he is rumored to have told Yibo. Wang Yibo, known for his quiet yet firm nature, allegedly apologized for the hurt caused. He assured Xiao Zhan that his family's words did not reflect his own feelings. He also promised to address the issue directly with his relatives, making it clear that no one had the right to belittle his closest companion. It wasn't a quick fix, but it was an important moment of honesty. Meanwhile, the story had already spread like wildfire online. Clips, whispers, and fan interpretations fueled the chaos. Some fans even claimed they saw Xiao Zhan wiping his eyes as he left, though others insisted it was the reflection of the lights. On Weibo, hashtags like #ProtectXiaoZhan and #StandWithYibo surged, showing the divided yet passionate nature of the fandom. International fans joined the frenzy, flooding Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram with emotional edits, heartfelt messages, and even petitions demanding an apology from Yibo's family. It doesn't matter if it's real family or found family. Respect is everything. Xiao Zhan deserves better. One viral tweet read, "Entertainment insiders are now weighing in." Some speculate that the clash could create awkwardness in future collaborations, while others believe it might actually strengthen their bond and public image. Moments like this humanize them, an industry analyst noted. Fans will rally around them even more because they see their vulnerability. If anything, this could solidify their standing as two of the most relatable and resilient stars in Asia. Neither Wang Yibo nor Xiao Zhan has directly addressed the incident in public, but their actions in the days following spoke volumes. Xiao Zhan posted a serene photo of a sunset with the caption, "Even in storms, the light always returns." Fans interpreted it as a sign of resilience. Wang Yibo, on the other hand, was spotted wearing a bracelet known to be a gift from Xiao Zhan during a recent rehearsal, a subtle but powerful gesture that fans immediately noticed. The bracelet became a trending topic overnight. Together, these silent responses gave hope to millions that their bond remains intact despite the chaos. Speculation is rampant. Will Wang Yibo confront his relatives openly? Will Xiao Zhan attend another family gathering in the future? Or will both stars choose to keep their friendship separate from family matters moving forward? One thing is certain: the world will be watching. Every move, every post, every public appearance will be scrutinized for signs of where their relationship stands. And yet, Perhaps this very storm will pave the way for an even stronger bond, one forged not just in success and laughter, but also in trials and misunderstandings. Part of the reason this story has captivated millions is because it mirrors real life. Who hasn't felt judged at a family gathering? Who hasn't faced the awkwardness of defending a friend or loved one in the face of criticism? That relatability, combined with the star power of Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo, has made this more than just celebrity gossip. It's a cultural moment. As fans continue to debate, defend, and dissect, it's worth remembering that behind the headlines are two real people navigating complex emotions. The best way to support them is not by fueling negativity, but by celebrating their work, their resilience, and their unbreakable bond. And that's where K-Drama Spark comes in. Our mission is to bring you the most fascinating, emotional, and exclusive stories about the stars you love. We go beyond the surface to uncover the heart of the drama, the truth behind the headlines, and the emotions that connect us all. So if you don't want to miss the next twist in the Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo story, or any of the other jaw-dropping updates from the world of K-dramas and C-dramas, make sure you're subscribed to K-Drama Spark. Hit that subscribe button right now, turn on the notification bell, and join our ever-growing family of drama lovers. Let's continue to explore, react, and celebrate these unforgettable moments together. Because one thing is certain, this story isn't over. And you'll want to be right here when the next chapter unfolds.